So with current things that are going on in the world right now, I thought to myself, what would people actually do if an outbreak happened? You're stuck at home with no way to really escape. So hey, you might as well go out trying to have a good time. Here are 4 games I think you should play during the outbreak. Let's get into it.
If you suspect someone of illegal
Please
activity
obey the
or
curfew.
radical symptoms, please call our 24-hour hotline.
Hold it right there! Wait!
So the first game we have on our list is State of Emergency. The reason I put this game on the list because I think this is the kind of pandemonium that would happen during the outbreak. You know, lots of craziness, people looting, fighting, just people like running all over the place. Now, when you first start this game, I suggest you play like 3 to 5 minutes. Set the timer to 3 to 5 minutes for each level you start on, so you don't really get tired of it. It gets pretty crazy, so you don't want to play it for too long because there's so much pandemonium going on. But I think it's a cool game. Now, I'm not saying this game is a hidden gem or anything, far from it, but it is fun if you play it in small increments. So State of Emergency is for the PS2 and the Xbox. I definitely feel this is a game that people will play during the outbreak.
Game over!
Next up, we have Resident Evil Outbreak. I would say, maybe like 3 times a year, I usually come back and play this game to try to remember the old times. This was actually the first Resident Evil game to be online, and it was up to, actually, I believe it was around 4 players online, co-op, trying to survive together. Really a lot of fun, and it was definitely ahead of its time. Now, even though the game is no longer online, it's still a lot of fun offline. It has a lot of extras, a lot of story, just a lot of craziness going on in this game. You really feel, well, definitely, I would say, like the sense of escape, like the urgency pretty much, because you're playing as regular civilians and one cop as well, and you're just trying to escape the city. So each character has different abilities. Kevin, which is my favorite character to use, he's the cop. He has a gun and he has a kick that kind of keeps enemies away from him. Other characters have things like they can carry up to 8 items, use lockpicks, or play dead, things like that. Only character I don't really use is Mark. I've never liked Mark. I think it's because of his voice in the first Outbreak game, but he's actually a good character if you know how to use him. But anyways, just going back to the game, one of the problems I had with this game was I don't know, at the time they didn't have the I don't want to say technology, but the load times, if you don't have a PS2 hard drive, between doors, it would take around 10 to 15 seconds depending. I've always had the hard drive installed in my PS2, so I was pretty much good on that, so I didn't have to worry about that. The load times were maybe between 5 to 6 seconds, which is manageable. But even now, still, if you don't have a hard drive, it's still okay. It kind of gives you a break in the action pretty much, the 10 to 15 seconds. But going back into the game, it has a lot of cool scenarios of these characters trying to survive together, and each scenario is vastly different from the other one. One, as you saw, as you're seeing right now, you're trying to escape from a bar and trying to get to safety. One of the levels takes place underground in the facility Umbrella Lab from Resident Evil 2. One of them takes place in Resident Evil 3's hospital. And 2 of the other ones I can't remember. One was the college, the university, and the other one was the hotel. So really a lot of cool little scenarios that you get to play in the game. Lots of extra characters you can unlock as well. So if you like the footage you're seeing here, definitely try Resident Evil Outbreak. I don't think you'll regret it.
Yes. Oh my god.
Oh, God.
Next up, we have Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead is probably one of the scariest co-op experiences I've ever played in the game. So the thing that gets scary about this game is that there's special time enemies pretty much that can incapacitate you. The witch being one of the worst ones, and also the hunter, the Hulk, I think it was called. I can't remember all of them, but pretty much there's special infected in this game that could like bring your character down with ease. So you have to be very careful. The game wants you to stay together. As long as you stay together, you're pretty much protected, but you want to kind of keep moving. But sometimes you'll get that character when you play this game online that kind of strays from the party, and then they end up getting in trouble, and then next thing you know, that everybody has to go rescue them. It kind of messes up things. And the director in this game, the director is pretty much the AI that kind of like throws zombies at you when it wants to. So every time you play the game, it's a pretty much different experience. Now, what I am showing you is the first Left 4 Dead game, and there is two of them. The first game, pretty much, you would have like weapons like machine guns, and a couple of melee attacks that kind of push your enemy off you. You don't get any melee weapons in this game, but you do in the sequel, so I just kind of want to let everybody know that. The game is really terrifying because you don't know what the AI director is going to throw at you. You know, sometimes the level could go by pretty smooth, and sometimes not so much, so it's always a different experience every time you play it. And it's also really cool when you play it online because obviously you have people you could talk to. When you play offline, like you're seeing here, everything is fine and everything, but it's like the AI partners will always follow you, so you don't have to worry about anybody splitting up. So, but then again, you don't. It's not like they will go off and do different things that kind of help the mission go by smoothly. I mean, they'll just follow your lead, and that's pretty much it. So this Left 4 Dead game, if I remember correctly, has 4 levels with 4 missions on them, and each of these levels have different endings, like kind of like well, not really what I would call a different ending, but pretty much the last level is a survival mode. So it's a level where you're waiting to get rescued, which is the most tense level out of all the missions. Pretty much it's like you call radio and you have to wait for the rescue to come get you. But while that rescue is coming to get you, you are being swarmed with enemies, and it is bad. It gets really crazy. So just be prepared for those missions. They give you time to prepare and get your weapons ready. But if you're not prepared, I mean, you're going to get killed, simple as that. So just be aware of that. But it is a lot of fun. It's very tense. It's a really cool game, guys. It's definitely a game to play during an outbreak.
I'm reloading.
So if you liked Left 4 Dead, World War Z is pretty much Left 4 Dead Crazy Edition. It's more than that, honestly. It to me is kind of like the Left 4 Dead formula, but really expanded upon. And I think the company did a really good job in making this game. A lot of people pass this one up just for the name alone. I don't know if it's because the movie, they didn't like the movie that much, or they didn't like the novel or whatnot. But if you're a fan of Left 4 Dead, this game is right up your alley. One thing I forgot to mention when I was talking about Left 4 Dead, and it has it in this game too, is that characters talk between each other. So that kind of helps flesh out the story about how the characters are kind of dealing with what's going on in their situation. Left 4 Dead had a really strong bond between the 4 characters you get to play as in that game. But with this game, they have strong bonds as well. But you get to play as more characters in this game, where each level, there's 4 levels: New York, there's Jerusalem, Russia, and Tokyo. But in each of those levels, usually they have 3 to 4 missions. You have new characters in there, so like each one has 4 different characters you can play as. Now, to me, where this game does better things than Left 4 Dead, first of all, I like the game being in 3rd person, where Left 4 Dead was like in 1st person view mode. I felt that was just, I don't know, I just feel that's a cheap way for some games or whatnot. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I enjoyed it immensely, but 3rd person for me is the way to go. I like seeing my character, and it just gives you more visitation of what. So in this game, you get up to 3 guns at a time: your handgun, some kind of machine gun or shotgun, and then you get a special weapon, which is like a grenade launcher, Gatling gun. You guys kind of get the picture. And then you have your melee weapon, which kind of like gets hordes off you sometimes. So I like the whole arsenal of weapons you get in this game. I feel like it's a lot better. You also get throwing objects like grenades. You get claymore mines and things like that you can set up against enemies. So, and remote mines as well. So definitely this game has more weapons than Left 4 Dead. I just feel like whoever created this game had a love for Left 4 Dead, and they wanted to create, well, not just create, but expand on that formula. So I definitely think this game filled Left 4 Dead shoes. As you know, we haven't got a Left 4 Dead game in a long time. Probably because people were complaining back in the day, but I don't know. That's up to you guys. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. But World War Z, definitely a game to play during an outbreak.
We got a screamer! Take him out!
Screamer down!
Hey, I just want to thank everybody for watching the video. I was actually supposed to have this video out like 2 weeks ago, but I guess now is a kind of fitting time for it. Anyways, during the outbreak, make sure you are safe before you play any games. Make sure you're taken care of and okay. And remember, folks, man, all we got is each other, man. So try to look out for your neighbor if you can, and just try to take care of each other, because when it comes down to it, man, all we got is each other. So anyways, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will get back to my regular video schedule this week, so look out for some cool new videos coming out. And that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Stay safe out there. Radical Reggie, and I will see you all later.